It has been quite a while since I have streamed, so I am worried if this is going to work. It has. Let's see here. That's off. Okay. I'm worried that I may have lost my edge, and I might forget how to do some things. So, YouTube looks good. Twitch, everything looks good on my end. Anybody in the chat? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Everything good on your end? All right. Cool. What a long day. I am exhausted, but felt like streaming. I haven't done a live stream by myself in a long time. I figured it would be a good opportunity just to take questions and kind of talk about stuff that is crypto, but also maybe not 100% crypto all the time. As a content creator, obviously I like to make content and I like to talk about crypto related stuff, but at a certain point, sometimes it's nice to switch up the content, do something different. Well, I missed you too, so thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad, loud and clear. I've been having issues with kind of syncing all of my gadgets. Is my audio syncing with my video? Is it off? Or is, yeah, see, it's telling me the internet can totally see you now to stop using your record. You are live. Okay, but it's telling me my stream health isn't that great. Okay, hopefully this carries through. Full disclosure, my bird is out of his cage, so he may at some point make an appearance, and if he does, he's green, so you'll be able to see through him. So, all right, let's get started. I asked the community, I think maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I don't know, for questions about just, people had mentioned in comments, you're always so serious, you're all business all the time, you never kind of let your guard down, you never talk about anything else. So I figured, why not cover some normal topics, right? So I put out some feelers for some questions, and here we are. The first one I got is, as someone who works in healthcare, for those of you who don't know, I have a full-time job. I work all week. I'm a dietitian, so I work in healthcare. The question is, as someone who works in healthcare, how can blockchain tech make providing healthcare more streamlined and cost-effective? Hey, Crypto Down One, I'm glad you like the shirt. Yeah, if anybody likes my t-shirts, I have a Redbubble store, and I have on my website a merch store where you guys can pick up stuff. I've got stickers and all kinds of other things too. I draw all of these or design them on Photoshop myself, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm serious all the time either, but it seems that I guess people think that I am. I don't know. I just try to condense as much information into a short period of time. 10 minutes is like the max people are going to want to watch a video, so I try not to make it much longer than that. The other thing is I speak fast. That I can't really help. So, how do I think that blockchain tech can make healthcare streamlined and more cost effective? Well, for one, personally, I foresee health insurance companies as well as medical records themselves being on the blockchain, being able to identify yourself in a hospital setting and verify that you are who you are, verify your information, your health, your insurance information, medications, allergies, all that stuff being immutable on the blockchain, I think could be very important, especially if in the United States we ever have like a universal healthcare setting in which all the states are under a few umbrellas or under one umbrella. It would make it easier for state to state for people to deal with changing doctors, medical records, medications, ailments, comorbidities, anything that related to your health would definitely streamline it, make it a lot easier. Cost-wise, it would probably decrease the cost too, because usually when you increase efficiency, you decrease cost, so that's another thing. I personally think we're really far from that still, because we're really far from, I think, crypto being widely used to the point where people don't really realize they're using it. And I say all the time that that's the only way I foresee crypto ultimately being adopted in the way that we need it to be, is if people don't think that they're using it and they don't realize that what they're using is blockchain tech. So, yeah. Anyways, next one. If you created your own cryptocurrency, what would you call it? I do actually have my own cryptocurrency. I have Candor coin. It's an ERC20 token. Obviously, it's a joke. It means nothing. But if you are in my Discord server, I can send them to you anyways. But if you're in my Discord server, you can tip with them if you have them in your wallet, which is kind of cool. We used to do that all the time. That kind of petered out, but that was fun. Medical records, I work for the Senate Corporation, need a system-wide adoption for healthcare. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I really think that blockchain is very far from being so mainstream adopted that the healthcare is going to pick it up. But just like supply chain, I think that immutability of the blockchain and decreasing the need for third parties and streamlining where all of our information is, it's a database, it's a ledger. I think that would be really, really beneficial. Again, I think it's a very long time away as well. I will not do technical analysis because I don't do technical analysis. Do I like sports? I do. I like sports, but I'm kind of like that person that only watches sports like when the Super Bowl is on or the World Cup is on. CryptoCandor GT3RS. Yeah. I like to watch sports, but I don't follow stuff enough. My older brother is very much into sports, like all the time. He plays fantasy, basically everything. And I've tried. I wanted to dedicate enough time to learn the teams. I just never did. And then I found crypto and it was all downhill from there. Would you ever marry someone that was completely against cryptocurrency? Well, I think that's kind of a strange question because I don't think that people are necessarily against cryptocurrency. I think most people are just skeptical and don't want to use it. And I don't have anything against anybody that might be a little weary of it. It's understandable. It is kind of a strange scenario for people who have no experience with any of this stuff. And I think that eventually most people will at least be more comfortable talking about it or researching it, or it'll feel less foreign. We have to remember that Bitcoin really only started coming into the mainstream media when like Silk Road happened, and then this past year when we had that huge price increase, which was like Christmas of last year, December, right? So we are still a ways away from people being comfortable enough to talk about cryptocurrency, but I don't think somebody not using it would be a reason for me to not marry someone if I wanted to be in a relationship. Why do YouTubers agree to tell us to ban Tether? I don't know what that means. Why all YouTubers agree to tell to all? Yeah, Tether's bad. Tether is an inevitability, I think, that's going to explode. But I did a video on stablecoins where I kind of talked more about my opinion in that capacity. So yeah, who was your idol growing up? My favorite band is Paramore. And my idol was, or is still, the lead singer. Her name is Hayley Williams. I think she's pretty fantastic as far as music goes. Other idols, I never really idolized anybody, to be honest. Not that anybody I can think of. Since you work full-time and do crypto, what do you like to do with most of your downtime? Honestly, eat and sleep and hang out with my boyfriend and my dog and my bird. On the weekends, I do... my boyfriend and I are into like car stuff, so we'll go to like car shows or whatever. I actually have another YouTube channel from way back in the day that I made of like me doing car stuff, car related activities, and like working on cars, which was fun. So I do that. We'll go like bowling and just like simple stuff. Most of the time I try to catch up on TV shows that I've missed, and I spend a lot of time drawing on the iPad because I really, really enjoy that. Why do Americans drive massive cars? Probably to compensate for their egos. If you had to be an animal, which one would you be and why? I think I'd probably either be an elephant or a horse. Elephant because they travel in packs and they're big family creatures. Or a horse because they're free and fun and they kind of do whatever they want. Have you ever challenged anyone on YouTube to a fight after they left a nasty or an uncalled for comment? No, I have not. I do call people out on comments on YouTube a lot. Sometimes I wonder if maybe it's not the best way for me to go about doing things, but I get aggravated when people make assumptions or make stupid comments. So I, candor, right? Speak open and honestly. So I'm pretty upfront with people when I don't like what they say. Why do the British and Americans say aluminum and the Brits say aluminium so differently? I can't tell you why. I just know that they do. Do you have a day job? Yes, I answered that one. I am a dietitian. Do you get annoyed when people ask too many questions? No. In fact, I would much rather someone ask me a question if they're unsure of something about me or my channel or my content or my life and even my personal life. They say when you assume you make an ass out of you and me. I'd much rather someone ask me a question that I can answer. And then that way it would be easier for me to prevent somebody from thinking something negative or something that's very flat out wrong. Gemini has now been regular stablecoin, which is great. I actually just read about that today. Do you think a huge focus on ETF and institutional money has weakened us as a community, thinking that we know this entity to succeed? Yes and no. I think that we do need those entities in some capacity for like massive scale adoption. I think ultimately the reason cryptocurrency was created was not for that reason, but we also have to think long term if we want it to be used in supply chains in real life, in healthcare, in banking, as a real replacement for normal fiat currencies, then there has to be regulation in some capacity. I always say there's no way my grandmother is going to invest her retirement money into cryptocurrency if there's not some sort of safety net. We need all YouTubers to tell us the ban tether. Got it. Yes. Status report Monero and Bitcoin to the moon. Her bowling average score. Oh my God, I'm actually really bad at bowling. I think I've only broken 100 like a handful of times. I love BitTube, Glad. Love drunk bowling. Yeah, a couple drinks in bowling is good fun. The more I drink, though, the less accurate I am. You have a boyfriend? Yes, I've had a boyfriend for 9 years. So yeah, that's not going anywhere. What are the top 3 things on your bucket list? That's a good one. Top 3 things on my bucket list. I'd really like to go to another country in Europe. I've been to Portugal, but I'd like to go to like Greece or Italy or Germany, major place there. I'd like to be able to see all the major things that the U.S. has to offer. Like I've seen the Grand Canyon. My bird. I'd like to go to like Yellowstone National Park or something like that. And then last one. I don't really know. I wouldn't skydive because I'm terrified. I'm going to have to think about that one and answer you at another time because I can't think. Or because American mass we have space to drive. True. Very true. And not in all places. New York City we don't really have a lot of places in major cities to drive. Do you have any advice when to cash out your gains or do you just hold? I just hold. Really, I really do. I buy and I hold and I don't look at prices. I didn't even realize ETH was sub 200 until like 2 days ago when someone mentioned it to me because I don't really pay attention. Do you feel that crypto has made your life better or are you pressured to still do it? No, I think it's made my life better. I like talking to people. I like networking. I like traveling. I like meeting people and going places. And I like creating things. So crypto's given me a platform to make content, to be creative, to do research, to learn, to make t-shirts, to make stickers, to rationalize buying myself an iPad when I didn't really need it. Stupid stuff like that. And it's an outlet. And I've met people that I think will be friends probably for a very long time. So I think that's pretty cool. How old are you? I'm 28. Limited laboratory. When do you Yeah, I'll probably do a whole nother update video on Cardano when they really make a bigger kind of splash. Blockchain. Are you into other kinds of tech? I asked this on Twitter. Yeah, I actually have that question, I think. If you're, I have Twitter questions over here. Married and engaged? No. Not married, not engaged. Favorite bands? Lots of stuff. Right now, I'm super obsessed with Post Malone, but I like Mike Stud. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him. Paramore. I listen to a lot of rap. I love Florence and the Machine. I listen to Beyonce. I listen to like literally a lot of EDM, but also rap and R&B and alternative rock. I listened to a lot of Incubus growing up, that kind of stuff. What were you doing before you got into crypto and YouTube? Well, I was YouTubing on my other channel, kind of like vlogging, just making content because I thought it was fun. And before crypto, not really much, honestly. Spending my free time the way normal people do, not sitting in front of a computer. What was the most impactful moments that set you in the direction that you chose? I guess that's kind of a big question. I went to school for nutrition because I was confused by all of like the fad diets and the misinformation and people not really knowing how to eat and take care of themselves. So I wanted to understand it better for myself. Kind of the same reason I got into crypto. I didn't understand it, so I forced myself to get involved, which is why I went to school for it. I think that was probably an impactful decision when I decided to go to college, although my student loans kind of suck. And because I'm so deep into crypto now and I really like it, it's hard to rationalize school at this point. I wanted to go back to school to get my master's, but I decided not to do that because YouTube, honestly. First place that I had a beer, probably with my older brother. Where were your parents? Probably inside. We were probably outside on like a deck or something. I don't know. My parents were not very strict about like what I did as a kid. What age did you embrace your nerdiness? Real young. My older brother played a lot of video games. So I played a lot of video games like Counter-Strike and World of Warcraft and StarCraft and a lot of stuff. We went to LANs. so I was on like DeviantArt making weird doodles and all kinds of stuff. I played all kinds of video games, did all kinds of weird stuff as a kid. So nerdiness was like second nature to me growing up. Rome is pretty good. Flying skydiving is awesome. Do you think the Ichimoku cloud is accurate? When I used to try to do TA, I thought it was interesting. I do think that there's good methods behind it. I don't quite remember, other TA indicators to really give you a full kind of view of everything comparatively, I guess. LOL, these questions. I know, right? So they didn't want crypto questions. I said I wanted regular stuff. Posty is fire emoji. Yeah, post is totally fire emoji. Do you think that thanks for the $5, by the way. So we have a super chat. Do you think DPoS consensus algos stand a chance when the average people aren't technically knowledgeable enough to vote for delegates in an informed way? That's an excellent question. And from personal experience with Lisk, when I voted for my delegates, I A, didn't realize how expensive it was, and B, it ended up not really paying out for me because I didn't hold enough. I mean, I held a good amount of lists, but not enough to make it like really worth doing. I do think that delegated proof of stake, a weakness is the functionality of the platform itself. It's definitely overly technical, and it's definitely going to be harder for the average person. I think, plug and play crypto for people, proof of stake just by itself is the easiest. DPoS, yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's definitely going to be a barrier for people to get involved unless they can make a very, very easy way for you to vote. Like, Lisk lets you do it right on the wallet, which is super cool. Yeah, so I don't know. Frank Ternay? Yes, nutritionist is actually not a real word. So anybody can call themselves a nutritionist. It's not a federally regulated term. So dietitian is like nurse. Like if you are a nurse or a doctor, someone can't just call themselves a nurse or doctor. They have to be licensed and credentialed and all that. Same thing with being a dietitian. School's overrated. That it is. Can I be your girlfriend, please? Sorry. No. A-Chain compared to other platforms. I don't know anything about A-Chain. DeviantArt account is going... Yeah, that DeviantArt account was weird. Sorry, in case you already answered this, who are your top crypto heroes? I'd have to say the people that I've been streaming with, like Lark, Zombie, Brad, all those guys are really, really great, and I think that they do solid, honest content. If I had to pick one person that, like, in the crypto space that I emulate, even though my content is nothing remotely close to his, would be Crypto Daily. I love his humor. I think his videos are short enough that they keep your attention span, but they teach you something. He's transparent about his sponsored content. He's funny. He's quippy. He seems well adjusted to the space and is educated. He's probably my favorite. And his editing is next level. He's hilarious. Have you heard of Consensus AI? Sort of. Am I a vegan? Absolutely not. No way. Thoughts on Hedera? Hedera Hashgraph, I think, is good for enterprise use. I don't necessarily see it being very popular with a public use. Same for Lisk, even though rewards are finally coming in. Yeah, same. Oh, yeah, sorry, Crypto99. There's so many damn crypto YouTubers. Danny, I've actually met. Well, I've met K-Dub from Crypto Zombie. I've met Mav three times from Ready Set Crypto, and Danny from Crypto99. They're all fantastic people in person. It is really cool to meet internet people in real life and be like, hey, my YouTube channel made us friends. It's pretty interesting. Why did you buy your first cryptocurrency? I bought Ethereum because Bitcoin was too expensive. The first purchase I had made for Ethereum, it was $17, which is like one of my favorite stories to tell. I think everybody misses Crypto Daily's videos. I know I do. How did you do in school? High school, I barely passed. I almost didn't graduate because I hated school. And then I went to I did a bunch of stuff, but I ended up with the school that I graduated from. I had a very good GPA, and I did very well in my classes because I liked what I was taking. So that was different for me. Enjoying my classes and choosing what I got to take made a difference for me in school. Thanks for the feed. Thanks for the support. I don't like investing. Editing is huge. It is. Yeah. Okay, so Twitter questions. Satoshi Nakafomo. Oh, God, this is a weird one. Well, this one's going to be difficult to answer. Would you rather wear eternally wet socks or eternally wet underwear for the rest of your life? No, you can't simply go commando or barefoot. You have to wear one of them. I'd have to say socks. And I'm going to say socks because, I don't know. eternally wet underwear sounds like literally a nightmare. Who's Who's the scammer? I don't know who that is. Well, I'll see their comments and wait. Crypto Pete, what got you into cars? When I was a kid, originally my older brother. I hung out with all his guy friends, and so I was always like one of the guys, and we all did like car stuff, and I just always liked cars. And then my boyfriend is very much into cars, very, very knowledgeable in cars, has taught me a lot of stuff, and we go to a lot of car-related events, and because of that, it's kind of just taken on a life of its own. I've had a pretty cool number of friends on here. Oh man, hold on a second. What was I gonna say? I lost track. Oh, so I had a lot of friends that were into cars too, so it was just kind of easy for me to get into that and stick with it. Let's see. How do I do this? Add moderator? Alex, let me know if I just added you as a moderator. Crypto Daily, let's see. Are you still bullish on Steel Network? Yes. Why is it so cheap? Is it so cheap on IDEX? Well, the market sucks, for one. And two, they had some setbacks. They didn't get on HitBTC. They took a long time to release a lot of their information. They kept a lot of the community in the dark, so there was a lot of FUD around that. Fundamentally, I think the project's... lost my train of thought. Wait for it. Fundamentally, I think the project has a good goal, and I think that it's doing something that we need, and I really, really want to see it implemented in a way that we're using it every day. Again, another one of those projects that we could be using blockchain without people necessarily realize they're using blockchain, which is very cool. Thanks for the feed. Kick the scammer. Coming from a regular life and being on YouTube now, having, I guess, fans, how do you feel? Do you think you're a celeb? No, I don't think I'm a celeb at all. I just see it as a giant chat room of people that want to talk to me. I don't really see it as much more than that. I mean, I guess the weirdest situation I had is when I went to CryptoCoin in Philly. Crypto Noob Girl on Twitter. She follows the I forget what the podcast is called. There's a podcast with 3 guys on it that's really funny. And she like is part of it or helps them or does something. And I ran into her in the slot machines in Philly in the casino. And she was like, "Are you CryptoCandor?" And that was the first time like anybody's ever did that. So that was weird. But no, I just think I'm a normal person that makes videos. I don't think I'm any different than anybody else. Oh, Sophia posting a Gmail account. All right. Well, my admin from my Discord is now the moderator in YouTube, which makes perfect sense. I should have done that from the beginning. So he'll take care of that stuff. Hi, Candor. Hi. How many hours a week do you spend on crypto? Personally, I'm trying to balance mine better. Good luck. I probably spend, depends if I'm editing. If I'm editing a video, that's a really hard question. I'd say at least 4 to 5 hours a day on top of working, and then on the weekends sometimes longer. But if I'm editing a video to release, I could be up till midnight editing, so that would be, and I get home, so that's like 6 hours. You know, it's really, really dependent it's dependent on the content. If I'm not live streaming, well, yeah, if I'm live streaming or if I'm doing other work, doing research or doing iPad drawing designs for t-shirts and stuff, it's kind of all related, so it just sort of blends in now. I see my from 9 to 5 or whatever, 8 to 4 is one clip of my day. After that is all crypto, and then the weekends is my personal life. So I see life in like 3 segments now, and that's how I balance. I keep my weekends. If you guys have ever noticed, I'm not usually on like Twitter or Discord on the weekends. It's because it's the only time I get to like kind of unplug, so I do that. Is a Prius a cool car? Your thoughts? Actually, as far as I know, a Prius, when they have to dispose of the batteries in the car, it's more damaging to the environment than just driving a normal car, I think, as far as I remember. So, not that great. Do you hold XRP? I do hold ADA, Cardano, but I don't hold XRP. Thoughts on gender politics and painfully ironic lack of females on the level of it, despite the new field? I just think that a lot of females aren't necessarily interested in stuff. I haven't in this space, I've gotten some like mansplaining comments on YouTube before, like stupid stuff, but I haven't gotten like any instance where I really genuinely felt like I didn't get included in something because I was a female. That's one thing I like about crypto it kind of transcends gender and politics and religion, and nobody talks about those things. We all just talk about crypto and FUD and moon boys and Lambos. So I don't really see gender being a point of conversation, honestly. Have any plans to talk on stage? So I did at any conferences. I did talk at the Crypto CoinCon in Philly. They want me to talk at NAC3 in Vegas. I don't know if I can do that. I know in going to East West in San Francisco in November, and I believe we're recording live Token Tank episodes there, and I think we might also be doing one on stage live in front of people. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If anybody's going to NAC3 in Vegas or East West in San Francisco, let me know. I'll be there. Could you make a video step-by-step how it shows token? I literally just made a video that shows step-by-step how to store tokens in a ledger. Trezor, I don't have a lot of experience with. Ledger, I just did a video. You'd be better off just using like my Ethereum wallet and trying not to use like Ledger Live or using, I think they don't know if the Chrome extension still works. Because some things Ledger Live, as far as I know right now, doesn't necessarily, Ledger holds all ERC20 tokens, but Ledger Live doesn't necessarily show them in the application itself. Any thoughts on Pundy, Zebu? Who would want to unplug? Me, I have to or else I'll burn out. I told a friend to invest in crypto. Should I tell him to buy the dip? I'm not giving financial advice. What do you do you like masternode coins? I mean, I don't necessarily feel any particular way about masternodes or non-masternode coins. Okay, Nick Kraska on Twitter. What made you want to become a dietitian, and what kind of dog do you have? Well, he's asleep right over here, else I'd pick him up and show the camera. I have a Shih Tzu. He was kind of a rescue. He was a very sick puppy when I got him, and I nursed him back to health. So we're bestest buds. His name is Oliver. You will often hear me screaming in my bloopers or yelling at him in many capacities because he's very needy. What made me want to become a dietitian? Kind of touched on that already. What other types of tech are you into besides blockchain and crypto? So one of my best friends, her nickname for me is Inspector Gadget, because I can rationalize any reason under the sun to buy, whether it's a new camera, a new mic, a new phone, the new laptop, the new iPad. I just like gadgets. I like tech. I like to be surrounded by things that make my life easier. I love Apple products. So that's probably my biggest habit. All right. Oh yeah, Nicholas. Hello from a fellow dietitian. Very cool. Somebody on crypto Twitter, also a dietitian, and a male, which is even more rare. Do you see yourself maintaining your full-time job and RD license, or do you think you will pursue crypto full-time? Right now, I'm maintaining my full job because the last interview I did was ages ago, and that was the last content I really made formal money on. So I have to maintain a full-time job because I have to pay my bills. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if I could choose, yeah, I'd love to stay home and make videos and live stream and go to conferences and meet people. Absolutely. Much prefer to do that. But not in the cards at the exact moment. I will maintain my RD status even if I ever stop working, because I worked way too hard to become a dietitian between all the schooling and everything else, and the test and all the work and building my resume and now working in a facility. I would never lose my RD credentialing. Plus, I'm very proud of the fact that I can leave and do crypto, leave and do whatever I want, and always come back to being a dietitian. That's about the only perk about having a college education and kind of like a very specialized degree, is if all else fails, you always have that. So, yeah, I would love to eventually, even if it's just for a couple years, quit my job and only do content, because I can always go back. Life is fluid. That's the fun thing. All right. Thoughts on the ketogenic low-carb diet? It depends on what your end game is. If you want to lose weight quickly, sure, but if you don't change the underlying habits that made you gain weight in the first place, then you're going to just gain your weight back. It's very hard to maintain a low-carb or ketogenic diet without eventually going carb crazy when you try to go back to eating normally. I personally eat everything. I just eat a balance of everything. I probably eat ice cream once a week. I probably eat Japanese food once a week. I get wings probably once a week. But most of the time I eat healthy and I try to cook healthy. So yeah. What do you think about Nex and security tokens in market? I think Nex is an awesome platform. I'm interested to really see how they continue, working on the project and how it ends up panning out. There's a lot of that project that's still very much kind of not disclosed at the moment, so I can't kind of formulate a full opinion quite yet. Hit that like button, guys. What criteria do you look for in doing live streaming discussions with other speakers? Honesty. I like honesty, and I like humility. I don't want to talk to somebody that thinks that they're better than me because they have more internet subscribers, or that they, I just want to talk to someone that's a human and is in this space for the real reasons, which is being part of a revolution, a technological revolution. So I'm grateful for the people that I've met, because I definitely think that I've been very, very lucky with the YouTubers that I've come in contact with. And even the ones that I don't talk to on a daily basis and maybe I've only talked to a few times, still good people. I just look for honesty. I like transparency in the way they do things, the way they make money, the way they make content, because I'm very transparent, and I don't know. I don't want to necessarily make content with people that I think maybe are dishonest or whatever. So, what is your all-time favorite movie? One of my all-time favorite movies is Wedding Crashers. My brother and I, when we get together, he doesn't live where I live. He lives across the U.S., but when we get together, we quote it. We watch it on repeat. Definitely one of my favorite movies. Mostly because Vince Vaughn is hilarious. I get that reference, blah, blah, blah. Work is slavery, yes. Have you ever thought about doing an online diet planning for people? I did for a short period of time. But the problem is a lot of people don't really want to hear what I have to say, because a lot of what I preach at work is moderation and eat whatever you want, but, try to balance things and be realistic and set achievable goals for yourself. And doing diet planning, I don't want someone to... you don't need a diet to lose weight. You need to make small incremental changes to your lifestyle to improve what you're doing from the beginning. Like, you can't just cut out all carbs and lose a bunch of weight and think that's going to last. So a lot of the times, dieting for me is telling people to make sure they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean meat. I don't know. It's not like rocket science. It's just people know what they are supposed to do, but they choose not to do it because it's easier. No political talk here. Moon up the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Candorno. Cardano is dirt cheap. Yes. Fave TV show. Love Silicon Valley. I love Orange is the New Black. It's great. I absolutely adore New Girl, and I love Big Bang Theory. And I'm trying to think of what else I've binge watched. Top Gear, which is now turned into the Grand Tour. Jeremy Clarkson is... Oh, that's my bucket list. Somebody who asked what my bucket list was earlier. Get dinner with all three guys from the Grand Tour, or be on an episode. Oh, that would be amazing. That would be like, I could just totally retire in life and be set. All right, on to my admin's question. My admin, who's also the admin in the stream, sent me a bunch of ridiculous questions to answer, and so here we go. If you could visit any time period and live for exactly 1 month, when would you visit? I think the Renaissance time. I would love to see like castles and kings and people, making food and making clothing and doing all kinds of stuff. No electricity, no plumbing. I don't know. I just think it would be really interesting as a comparison to the way life really is now, and to understand how quickly everything has changed in such a short period of time. For the rest of your life, you can only get one kind of chicken wings. Smart man. He knows one of my favorite foods. What kind are they? Barbecue, probably. Barbecue with blue cheese and lots of veggies on the side. I love veggies. LaCroix or Pellegrino? Neither. I hate seltzer water. Full disclosure, the only time I drink seltzer water is if it's in an alcoholic beverage. I do not drink it by itself. It makes me thirsty. I much rather just drink water plain or coffee. That's pretty much like the only things I drink. I look like Felicity from Arrow. Huge compliment. Thank you. You're the second person to tell me that, so I'm grateful. I don't know how this is not being talked. This is a major milestone. I don't know who that is. Do you want a Wan Chain? Oh, I don't know enough about Wan Chain. What do your friends and family think about your crypto involvement? They're all very, very proud of me. They all, actually, some of them my family might be in the live stream. They watch my videos. They leave comments. They all think it's really cool. They're extraordinarily supportive. And, they just think it's fun and different. And my mom will ask me, I'll see her comments in my videos. She'll ask me about certain projects, and she'll ask for like clarifications for things. So that's pretty cool. Do you always talk so fast? Yes. As a child, my nickname was Motormouth because that's and everyone in my family yells at me. I'm really the only one that speaks this quickly. I have to put out a concerted effort to not speak quickly, to slow myself down. That's the speed at which my brain works. So my speech just follows my brain. Do you have any tattoos? I do. I have 6 back, ribs, 2 on my feet, 1 on my arm. 2 on my feet, 1 on my arm, back, ribs. Yeah, I think that's it. What is an AMA? AMA is Ask Me Anything. So on Reddit, people do AMAs. So that's kind of what I got that from. Thank you. Thanks for all your vids you put out. Thank you guys for watching. I really want to seriously though thank everybody because I don't know if I do that often enough, and I know my content's usually very condensed, and I know that a lot of times I don't kind of dilly-daddle, and I don't really, I'm all business. But I do that because when I started the channel, I hated when I would start a video and the first 4 minutes were someone just droning on about crap. And, in the beginning of my videos, I'll normally promote my website or my Patreon. I'll shout out my t-shirt, and I might tell a quick little story about why I started the video, and I'll do my disclaimer. But I try to keep it short and concise because I understand, everybody wants to get as much information as soon as possible, so I try to be concise. But because of that, I don't often have a lot of time to thank you guys for the support and the subs and the likes and the people who were my patron and the people who have bought t-shirts or have tipped me. You watch my videos, you like it, you share it, and I'm super appreciative of that because without you guys watching, I would be streaming to myself. So thank you for all the support. It really does mean a lot. I didn't start this channel expecting this kind of response from people, so I'm very, very grateful and very humbled, honestly. On to Alex's questions. Do you think we're alone in the universe? No! I actually just watched a documentary on Netflix called Unknown. I think it's Unknown, and it's about the whole, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, and I try not to, get put on a little tinfoil hat and get caught up in that. But that being said, this Netflix documentary about how the government is covering up aliens is pretty amazing. You should probably watch it. So, no, I don't think we're alone in the universe. Favorite childhood TV show? I watched a lot of Cartoon Networks, like Real Monsters. I liked Rugrats. I'm trying to think of what else I watched a lot of. Ren and Stimpy, but I was wicked young when I watched that. What kind of toppings do you get on your ice cream? Excellent question. I get one of 2 things normally. I get vanilla ice cream in a sugar cone with either rainbow or chocolate sprinkles. That's pretty much it. Or if I'm in the mood for a load of sprinkles, I'll get a cup and I'll ask for 2 or 3 servings of sprinkles in the ice cream. So, when quit your job and live on crypto? When my patron's up to my goal amount or I start making money, because I'm not taking a lot of I haven't been taking any sponsored content. So, I have to work a full-time job. Otherwise, I can't pay my bills. Ever ordered a triple vanilla latte? No, but I do when I go to Starbucks, I get a quad latte, which is 4 shots of espresso in a venti. Do you do any type of charity work or one that you have a lot of meaning to you? I don't do any charity work, but without disclosing too much information, what's it called? Make-A-Wish Foundation is probably my favorite charity. Very close to my heart. And I think that what they do is really honorable. They're not going to change the world with it, but they're improving people's lives that deserve it. And I think that's a really great charity. Okay, back to Alex's questions. If I told you that killing person A would save person B's life, would you kill person A? No, because ultimately somebody's still dying. I would not get involved because I don't really want to go to jail for homicide. An intruder just broke into your house. What object to the left of you is your weapon? What is it? Books? Picture frames, a vase, not really useful. I'd probably be in a lot of trouble. What was the first thing that you did that made you feel like an adult? Probably when I started having to grocery shop, cook, and clean up, and plan meals because, I always cooked, even when I lived with my family, but, coming home and there being no groceries in the fridge was a pretty rude awakening. If you were going to open a food truck, what would be your menu? Oh man, that's good. I'd probably do some cool Japanese fusion, poke bowls, or I don't know, something healthy but still really delicious. What are the first things you would love blockchain to change for a better world? Oh, man, that is... I think bringing banking to the unbanked, like being able to have people in countries that are otherwise don't have access to banking, don't have access to fiat, or their country's fiat currency is extremely volatile or extremely inflated, and because of that, their quality of life is diminished and they're under stress. Financial stress is probably the worst toll that one person can really endure, and I think improving people's lives by empowering them to be able to get better. Like, you can't expect someone's life to get better if they can't afford to buy clothes, to apply for a job, to get a job, to make money, to do things to get better. Like, it all kind of starts in that cycle of, like, what came first, the chicken or the egg. So I think that bringing financial stability to people and putting everybody on the same playing field, honestly, is what I think is going to be the coolest thing, or I hope will be the coolest thing that blockchain does. What is one special thing from your childhood that you don't have now but you wish you did? I don't really know. I had a stuffed animal growing up that I carried around everywhere with me, and I still have him. I guess, like, maybe the journals and the notebooks I used to write in as a kid, that I don't have anymore, that I moved around a lot, so probably that, I think. You call me to bail you out of the clink. What did you do to get in there? Probably a speeding ticket. Yeah. When you quit your job, hello, Miss Candor. Hello, Ren and Stimpy. It's log, it's heavy, it's good. Yeah. My older brother and I used to watch that. Oh my God. TV show I used to watch all the time was Invader Zim. I loved Invader Zim. And Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. That, I don't know how I missed those. Dragon Ball Z was one of the TV shows I probably watched the most at, like, I don't know how old I was. Middle school, maybe, when I was watching that. Loved that show. I used to draw all the characters, too. Being in the healthcare field, what do you think blockchain healthcare use cases? Any practical ones? So, Meta, I kind of went over this in the beginning. I think insurance. I think centralizing people's information as far as healthcare, allergies, comorbidities, all that stuff will be a good use case. Perfect answers. That's why I'm in crypto. Anyone ask you to marry you yet? Marry you today yet? No one's asked me today. Thought on Elon Musk? If we're talking about the whole him smoking with Joe Rogan, I'm baffled that people think that the dude doesn't smoke. I mean, the guy's, like, kind of a very revolutionary thinker. Whatever, let him do him. Like, it's not going to affect his company. He probably at this point doesn't even have too much to do with, like, the day-to-day of the company. So why does anybody care? Let the guy be. And number 13, who is your favorite admin, and B, why is it me? Oh, that's great. Yeah, Alex is a stellar admin. He's very helpful, and when I'm not in my Discord channel or my Discord server, he's always there. Yeah, that reminds me. I have a Discord. If you guys want to get a hold of me or ask me questions, so you can go there. That's a good place to do it. I had to turn off my direct messages on Twitter because it was getting a little out of hand with, like, shilly crypto questions or shilly crypto projects or requests. And I've actually had to start blocking people on Discord too, which is really unfortunate. But yeah. So, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Who's your favorite character on DBZ? I don't know. Probably Goku, because he just, like, was always trying to do the right thing. And when he went Super Saiyan, he looked cool as all hell. And I liked his outfits. Yeah. What would you think? What would you do and what would you like to see? I don't know what that is. Am I a believer in UFOs? Yes. I actually think that I have a couple more questions on my YouTube channels over here. Let's see if I can get to them and let's see. Yeah, so link is only good for 24 hours. Oh, good call, Alex. That's probably smart. Come on, my channel. Why is this not loading? I know that other people had dropped questions on, like, the Facebook page version of my YouTube channel that I, like, post stuff up there. Let's go to community. That's what it is. What did people ask? Nice Candor. Go Goku. Yeah. I like your channel. I can relate. How much hard work. Okay, that's not that one. I want to say appreciate that. No. What percentage of family or friends you know are invested in crypto? For me, maybe 1,200 friends on Facebook, only a few are in crypto. I'd say I probably, in my personal life, before getting involved in YouTube and meeting people through this, probably like 5. But I also my boyfriend got involved in it because I was involved in it. He was interested, and then his friend was also involved in it, but not related to me because his friend's kind of a nerd. And then I have 2 other friends that are involved in it because they're just kind of nerdy. So yeah, probably 5 now in the beginning. Now it's getting closer to 10. Let's see here. What else do we have? Thoughts on ELA and merge mining. My major concern, which wasn't really addressed when I did the token tank with Rong Chen, was Bitcoin having hash power dominance, because they're going to be using Bitmain. That is a bit of a concern as far as control of the network. I think that it's smart to piggyback off the most reliable cryptocurrency that we've, Bitcoin's never been hacked, never had any serious issues related to the process of it actually working. So it makes sense to utilize it, but I am concerned that it doesn't seem like you really answered the question. I don't know if it was because he wasn't allowed to or because we got off topic or what, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a toss-up for that. If you met someone from your past, who would it be? If I met someone from my past, if you meet someone, are you saying someone that like a past person who passed away before I was alive, like a famous person? Or are you talking about someone that I've already met that I don't understand that question? Let's see if there's any more questions. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions here, guys. Hobbies, interests, and time pass. Kind of talked about that. Hobbies, drawing, sleeping, eating, trying to do stuff out that's not behind my computer. Interests, I love to read, never have time. Like to write, don't really do that much anymore either. Like to draw. Like to listen to music. Podcasts are a huge thing for me now. I listen to podcasts all the time. Shout out to my Crypto Basic podcast friends. If you have not followed their podcast, do so. They make content like me, but in podcast form. Who would you meet from your past? Da Vinci, absolutely. Great one. Salvador Dali, probably. And I think I'd really like to meet Abraham Lincoln. I think that would be pretty freaking sweet. And maybe JFK too. I'd like to meet presidents, I think, and talk about the country as it was during those time frames. Certainly, you probably wouldn't want to meet Reagan. Nice shirt. Thanks. In your portfolio, how much percentage in Bitcoin? Right now, I think it's 19%. How do you feel about Bitcoin maximalism? Have you read the Bitcoin Standard? No, I read Bitcoin Digital Gold. I use that word lightly. I didn't read. I listened to the audiobook. I think Bitcoin maximalism is silly. And I don't say that because I don't believe in Bitcoin's future. I say that because, Internet Explorer was one of the first browsers that came out that people used for the internet, but it doesn't mean it's what people use now. People still use it. There's still a use case for it. There's still a subset of people that use it, but it's not the most popular because things got better and evolved and got more custom to what people wanted. I think the Bitcoin's the first iteration. It's the 1.0 blockchain. It's old faithful. It does what it's supposed to do, but ultimately, if you want other things like smart contracts and micropayments and all that other stuff, you gotta have to branch out. Nice shirt. Robenzo, if you like my shirt, go to my website and buy one, or my Redbubble store. You mentioned user experience being a barrier. What are 3 ways you see being the ways it will elegantly solve that bridge? I mean, the first one's the one I always say, is people need to be using crypto and not realize that they're using crypto. So like the Brave browser, you can just sign up for a BAT wallet pretty much instantaneously when you get the browser, which is very important. I don't know. Wallets, making fiat gateways that are very easy for people to just convert USD or whatever your fiat currency of your country is to crypto. Atomic swaps and things, of being able to just quickly transfer different types of crypto. Pizza or spaghetti? Oh my god, spaghetti. So, fun fact, I don't really actually like pizza. I find that it's not very for the amount of pizza that I have to eat to be full. It just doesn't make sense. Like I'd much rather eat like a big bowl of pasta and a salad than eat pizza. Your opinion about next forecast price? I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I have no idea. If you could only listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be? Probably Paramore's newest album, After Laughter. Swear on my grave. That's got to be my favorite. Next to Brand New Eyes, which is their other album that I loved very much. I wanted to get that tattoo, but I never did. Yeah, that would probably be my favorite. Are you still into cars? And your thoughts on IOTA and the Tangle? Very much still into cars. My current Audi is actually for sale. I'm trying to maybe pick up something nicer in the future. I'm going back to driving my Honda Civic daily because it's very good in gas. I don't owe any money on it, and my insurance is dirt cheap until I can pick up something nicer in the meantime. So we'll see. Goddamn Loch Ness Monster coming around for $350. IE is an app, not a platform. Internet Explorer? I mean, I guess it's an app in the sense that it works on the internet, but it is a platform because people utilize it to access other things. What are your thoughts on all the Cardano FUD? Honestly, didn't even know that there was Cardano FUD. Is there Cardano FUD? I haven't really been paying attention to it. How much pizza can you put down? Sounds like an impressive number. And with beer? I mean, probably like 3 slices, but I get bored. Like I like tapas where you sit down and you eat multiple small plates of things because I get sick of eating the same thing over and over again. So I get bored with pizza very quick. Unless like you get multiple kinds of pizza. Yeah. So, what's my opinion on the Tangle? I don't know. I'm not super impressed by IOTA. I think that the fact that the coordinator is not off the Tangle yet is kind of telling. I think that I'm actually doing my next, I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, I'll be doing a comparison video on like the differences and the similarities between blockchain tech and DAG tech. So I've been doing more research on like Byteball and IOTA and Nano and all that stuff just to kind of refresh. And I don't know. I guess IOTA is an interesting concept. And for being used in an IoT setting, it could be very useful for like parking your car and your car automatically paying for parking on its own and stuff like that. But I don't like the idea that they haven't taken the coordinator off yet. It's a centralized coin as far as I'm concerned. Honda Civic is a perfect beater. Yes, it is. Hello, Candor. Hello. Do you have any favorite vacation spots? Well, I don't really like frequent any one place. I like beaches. Or I like very, very scenic touristy places. Like, I'd like to go to like a very historical place. I love museums, stuff like that. Have you tried oatmeal, bananas, vanilla, protein, and milk? No, I have not. What do you think about EOS and EOS code forks? I've talked a little bit about EOS in the past. I'm disappointed in how long it took them to do their ICO, and I know like ultimately I think a year was the plan anyways, but they did their ICO and then they are still running into problems and stuff wasn't on time, and I was just not impressed with the way that they ultimately did everything. I feel like it could have been done in a much more streamlined, ironed out manner considering how long they had and how much money they raised. And I don't know anything about code forks. Mountain resort, beach resort, camping, cruise, road trip. Cruises are great. Road trip, I cannot spend extended periods of time in the car. I start to lose my mind because I fidget a lot. I need to be moving around and doing something. So if I'm not doing something, I start to get anxious. And sitting in a car is not good for me. Beach resort, mountain. So it would probably be beach, mountain, cruise, and then maybe camping, and then like a day adventure. Hiking, I don't really do physical activity, so I'm not really one for hiking. Thoughts on the current balance of speculators, investors at this point? I don't know. I don't know anything about Dragon Chain. I'm from the U.S., more specifically in the Northeast. What do you think of ADA? I love the project. I have a lot of faith in that project. Let's see. What would you say you're more passionate about, cryptocurrency than your current full-time job? I'd say right now, I don't know. I'm passionate about my job because I like working with my patients, but I also like cryptocurrency because it's so much different than what I do on a daily basis. It's hard to say. I think right now, car just beeped and drove by. I think right now it's probably a 50-50 split. Would I visit the Dali Museum? Yes, absolutely. I actually, when I was in Los Angeles, I went to the Getty Museum, and I got to see a Vincent van Gogh. Was it a Vincent van Gogh? I think it was a Van Gogh. In real life, it was very beautiful. Hey, what are your thoughts on Nanocoin? Dragon Chain, Dragon, please. I don't know anything about Dragon Chain, my friend. Sorry. I don't have anything to say. Nano is cool. I think for micropayments, it's useful. I like the idea that they were, what was it, Venezuela, that the community banded together and was like sending funds down to them. So that's pretty cool. And in my experience, their community is pretty awesome anyways. And I like their team. Their team's very friendly. But, I mean, I don't really hold any of those DAG projects because I don't have a use for them. The thing for me is, I have to figure I have to be using it myself in order to feel like there's a reason for it, right? So, Ethereum we use as gas. Cardano eventually is going to have its own platform. I don't know, I'm big on platform coins, and I also am big on projects that are doing something other than just trying to be a currency. Because I think ultimately, dethroning Bitcoin and replacing fiat is going to be a serious undertaking. So I think it's important to also have other things that they're trying to do. So like Zencash, Horizon. Love that project because they're privacy. They're making a platform for publishing. They're trying to do a bunch of stuff and not just be a coin, but also with the privacy aspect. So I think that is important. All right. So Ethereum is, no, I'd have to disagree. I don't think it's a shit coin. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. I think that kind of wraps it up for me. How long have I been streaming at this point? I've been on for just about an hour. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. All right, friends. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to stream more frequently. It's hard because between the Token Tank recordings, doing the research for that, coordinating with all those guys, doing my own research, trying to do my videos, and trying to still have a social life or any kind of life at all, it is difficult to find time to live stream. So I will do my best to try to do that more often. I do like doing the collab live streams with other people, so hopefully I'll do more of that soon too. Yeah, but that being said, thank you guys for stopping by and for obviously supporting my channel. Please like, please subscribe, please share my content if you haven't. And yeah, I should be putting out hopefully one more video this week if I can. If I don't have time, definitely next week. And I won't be on the next Token Tank next week. We rotate hosts and panelists. So I'll be taking a week off. But yeah, so thanks guys for watching. And yeah, I'll see everyone soon. Everybody have a nice week.